Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 13. If you missed us getting the fire cape in the previous chapter, the link to it is in the description below, so go check that out. And for today's video, the main theme is going to be combat achievements, specifically the easy and the medium ones. But before we got into any of that, we decided to continue with the motherlode grind for the prospector's outfit. We hopped into the mine and started mining until we got to level 71 and needed a break. Our next endeavor was to imbue our Slayer helmet, so we hopped into the Nightmare Zone Rumble mode, fighting 4 quest bosses at a time. We were using the Absorption Potion and their Great Axe and Gear method. We were in there for 2 sessions that totaled about 3 hours and got 1.8 mil Nightmare Zone points, 1.25 mil of which we used immediately to imbue our Slayer helmet, so we can now enjoy the benefits of the Slayer helmet when using ranged magic on Slayer assignments. At some point we'll imbue our Salve Amulet and then eventually our rings, but for now it was just a Slayer helmet. There is not much Slayer training in this chapter because again the focus of it is going to be combat achievements, so I'm going to go back to showing individually the Slayer assignments we completed since there's so few of them. Starting with 160 Fire Giants that gave us 17.7k of Slayer experience. And then we had 55 Iron Dragons that gave us 9.5k of Slayer experience. We got no Slayer level, but we did get bumps in our ranged and hit points, both to 74, as well as, I forgot to mention, in the Nightmare Zone, we did get our strength to level 72. Next, we returned to the Motherlode to finally get to level 72 mining, a requirement for a quest called Making Friends with My Arm, as well as our ability to go upstairs once we pay an entry fee of 100 golden nuggets. And then our clan was putting together a drop party, so we attended that with all of our clansmates. Didn't really get anything, got a bunch of junk that totaled like 50k. But again, I put this in this video just to showcase the benefits of having an active clan. Stuff like drop parties or giveaways for tokens or cash, or clan events. Like for us it was the Barbarian Assault. Stuff like that is why being part of an active clan is a good thing in RuneScape. Our last requirement for the Making Friends with My Arm quest was for us to get 11 fire making levels and get us to level 66. So we went to the Wintertide minigame and learned how to do that. Spent about 4 hours here until we finally got that level 66. Unfortunately only got 1 piece of that Pyromancer outfit, but that's okay. And the next thing we did is a bit silly, but it's important and something eventually everybody has to do. Spring cleaning of my bank. It was getting a bit full with all the random quest items, books, outfits from random events. So I went to my player-owned house and built a bookcase and then all the storage compartments to, well, store all that stuff in my house as opposed to my bank and clean that space up. I got a little frustrated because my construction is too low and I now want to build better tiered bookcases and storage compartments. So at some point you guys are going to definitely see me train construction because my OCD can't handle that stuff being split between the house and the bank. I started the next day by completing a Night at the Theater quest, which is essentially the Theater of Blood raid. And this was going to be my introduction to old school RuneScape raiding. I've never seen one before. I've never done one before. So I was actually very excited. Now, I knew it was going to be a disaster, right? I mean, you guys saw me in fight caves. I struggle with boss mechanics. That seems simple. But I brought my brother with me, Thorim, and he's really good at those types of things. So we did entry mode. I knew it was going to get completed. And I wish I could show you guys some cool clips from these epic fights because I truly enjoyed my time in there. I thought everything was really fun, really challenging. The bosses were dope. Unfortunately, I died in every single one of them. So I spent most of the time in those fights spectating my brother, basically carrying my ass through this entire raid, which is I knew it was going to happen, right? But still, thanks to him, we got it done. The quest gave us 4 antique lamps, 20k of experience each. We put 2 of those lamps into strength to get us to level 73. And 2 of those lamps into attack to get us to level 71, which also put us at 90 combat level. High on all the excitement from Theater of Blood, I moved on to Making Friends with My Arm quest, and I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it's another dope ass quest with another engaging end boss that I thoroughly enjoyed. RuneScape has been knocking it out of the ballpark with these late game quests for me, man. I've been really enjoying myself. This quest is really important because it opens up Weiss, which gives you an herb patch. The quest also gave us 1 fire making level to 67. And then before we got into the combat achievements, I knocked out 4 Slayer assignments. The first one, 140 Hellhounds for 16.2k of Slayer experience. Our next task was 89 Ankus for 5.5k of Slayer experience. Then it was 164 Dagonauts that we used the cannon for. Well, we use cannon for every single one of these assignments, but this one is like truly the cannonable assignment when you think of it. They gave us 13.5k of Slayer experience, and then we finished off with 127 Cal fights, another kind of iconic cannonable task for 11.4k of experience. All that gave us a bump in our Slayer level to 69. Alright folks, so the next day is when our combat achievement grind started. And I know there's other things in this video, so proportionally speaking, combat achievements may not seem like the focus of this chapter, but I want you guys to know that in real life, combat achievements were my life for the next 10 days straight. I did nothing else but combat achievements. No Slayer, no questing, no farm runs, no birdhouse runs, straight up combat achievements. We started with Bryophyta, a moss giant boss that dwells in the Varrock sewers. We grinded out moss giant kills until we had a moss key, and then got inside its lair and killed it for 4 of the 5 achievements in the first kill. Now this is kind of going to be a commonality between all achievements, is I'm going to try to accomplish as many achievements in 1 kill as possible. It's just efficient. So for Bryophyta it was 4 of 5, and then we hopped on over to a free-to-play world, grinded out moss giant kills until a key dropped there, and then killed Bryophyta once more on the free-to-play world to accomplish that achievement. 5 of 5 easy achievements for Bryophyta done. So a quick note on standalone combat achievements like this one, Into the Den of Giants, where we have to kill a hill giant, a moss giant, and a fire giant in the Shazing Cave. I will show them, even though they seem very simple, because the focus is combat achievements. But I do want you guys to know that we've already completed 20 combat achievements through the last 12 chapters by just regular questing and Slayer. So that's kind of our starting point with Bryophyta, is 20 combat achievements were already done, and then Bryophyta started off the grind from there. Next, we took on the Ranged Archaeologist on Fossil Island. He had 4 combat achievements for us to do, 1 easy one and 3 medium ones. One of the medium ones was to kill him 25 times, so we stayed on the island until we got that done. We also got a magic level to 72. Next, we completed the 2 easy Barrows combat achievements. Very simple. The first one is to kill a Barrows brothers with magic, which is what we used the entire time. And the second one was to loot the chest 10 times. Got that knocked out pretty quick. And then we completed a Greater Demon standalone combat achievement to finish one off with the Dark Light. Our next endeavor was the Obor combat achievements, and I gotta tell you guys, the moment I stepped into the Hill Giant Cave west of Varrock on the free-to-play world, man, the nostalgia just hit me right in the feels. I mean, 2005, 13-year-old Noxie was living in this cave, man, fighting for combat gains and then money as well. And to my initial surprise, there were a ton of people still here. So it remains to be a place of high volume, if you will, which is really nice to see. But the first 2 achievements we accomplished were on the free-to-play world, got that knocked out for easy achievements. And then we moved on to a members world and completed the remaining 4 combat achievements for Obor. And then we sent it back to Bryophyta in the Varrock sewers. There were 2 medium achievements we still needed to accomplish. Kill him 5 times, and then kill all the little seedlings within the first 3 seconds. So we got that done too. It took us a little bit. I actually had to kill him 6 times to get it done, but now all the Bryophyta and Obor achievements are done. I then returned to the Barrows brothers to complete the 5 remaining combat achievements there, medium and hard. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think I've ever been as frustrated in old school RuneScape as I was doing the Can't Touch Me combat achievement, where the 4 melee brothers can't clip you with a single one of their melee attacks, so you just dance around the crypts using the snare magic the entire time. I failed so many times after killing 3 of the 4 melee brothers, and then the last one would like randomly hit me because I either made a mistake or something stupid happened with like the walking animation. It was absolutely infuriating. But we did get it done, and for those of you guys that are wondering, in the 26 runs that it took us to complete all the combat achievements, we did get 2 pieces of a Barrows Brothers gear. One of them was Guthin, so it wasn't very good money, but the second one we got a chest plate from Darak, so we sold that and made some good money. Our next victim of the combat achievement grind was Sarachnis, who we had to kill 25 times to hopefully complete 5 combat achievements across the easy, medium, and hard tiers. I thought this was going to be another frustrating endeavor because of the ready to pounce combat achievement, where you can't have Sarachnis hit you twice in a row with a range attack. But very quickly I figure out the positional dance to make sure that that does not happen, and got it done pretty quickly. So overall, the grind for Sarachnis was an easy one. At this point, I decided to take a break from combat achievements, because we've been doing them for a week straight, to do some hard achievements. It's been a while since all the easy and medium achievements have been completed for all the regions within RuneScape, and since then we've done a lot of skilling and leveling, so our character was boosted to a point where he could do a lot of those hard achievements. So that's exactly what we did. We went around RuneScape to all the regions and completed every single hard achievement that we had a level for. Now, we didn't get any lamps because we couldn't complete all of them, but got a significant portion of all of them done. We then returned to combat achievements, specifically for the Giant Mole, who has 5 combat achievements across the easy, medium, and hard tiers. We managed to get all of them within the 25 kills that we needed for that medium achievement. I thought I'm going to have an issue with one of the hard achievements, Why Are You Running, where the mole can't bury more than 2 times, but got really good RNG in one of the kills, so it was no issue. And the last combat achievement for this chapter was King Black Dragon, or KBD, who has 6 combat achievements across the 3 easy, medium, and hard tiers. All of them really straightforward, and we were able to get all of them within the 25 kills necessary for that medium achievement. The only one we did not complete was the hard one, because killing KBD with 10 times within a single private instance is not possible for us currently with our gear and combat levels, so we're gonna have to come back and do that one. This chapter's wind down from all the combat achievements that we've done was Pyramid Plunder and getting our thieving to level 64, which was the last requirement we needed to complete Secrets of the North. And personally, to me, Secrets of the North was an incredibly important quest to complete, because it was the last non-Grandmaster quest that we needed to get done, and the only thing from here on out that we had left were the 4 Grandmaster quests: Monkey Madness 2, Song of the Elves, Dragon Slayer 2, and Desert Treasure 2. So I felt like the questing journey that we started all the way back in chapter 1 with the Waterfall quest to where we are now is coming full circle, and we just have the 4 big daddies left. So getting this quest done was incredibly important to me. The quest gave us 73 agility, 65 thieving, and 70 hunter. So here we are, folks, at the end of this chapter. We completed 41 combat achievements, so some good work was done. And I know that the screenshot is not representative of the combat achievement numbers that are currently in game. There's been several months from the time of recording to the time of editing, and things like the Scariest the Rat King were added, so just keep that in mind. But as far as the progress check, we went from 1538 to 1581 total skill, so not much in terms of gains. Most of the levels we got were combat related from all the fighting that we've done, but still really good progress. Now, as far as next week's video, and it's going to be a big one, we're going to get after those Grandmaster quests that I talked about at the end of this chapter. And just be prepared that it's going to be a very, very long video, because we're going to showcase all the epic fights and boss fights that we've had in those quests, because they're just amazing and epic, and I just had so much fun with them. So be aware that that's going to be a longer video for chapter 14, the penultimate episode of this series. And once again, I thank you guys for hanging out with us, watching this video, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.